следующее слово я хочу представить нашему другу из Венгрии, Яношу Кёрмеди-Рац, кандидату наук, президенту Венгерской ассоциации апитерапевтов. У нас возникла небольшая сложность в связи с тем, что его переводчик заболел, поэтому у нас будет проходить все в необычном формате. Он будет говорить на английском языке, а презентация будет идти на русском языке. Янош, please.
Yes.
Янош?
Yes, hello.
Yes, we are ready to listen you.
Yes, Степан Иштван, egy pár szót szóljál.
Алло, Иона Подкиванок. Добрый день.
Степан сможет помочь, да?
Все же на время я здесь оказался около микрофона.
Очень хорошо.
Всех участников конференции желаем успешной работы, проведения успешной работы. Я, конечно, не мог все полностью перевести, всю презентацию, но проверил, посмотрел. Презентация будет на русском языке Яноша, значит, слова там по-русски будут изображены, но он сам будет говорить на английском языке. Если по ходу возникнут какие-нибудь вопросы, которые непосредственно ему хотите сказать, тогда я ему переведу. А если не будут, тогда потом ответим на ваши вопросы.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be with you, and I would like to speak a little about the prevention possibilities of the COVID-19. I don't see how to. Okay. We are coming from Hungary. It is about 2,000 kilometers from Rybное. And I work also with the Chinese doctors since 2019. In this picture, you see an apoptotic human cell, which is blue. And you see the yellow dots are particles of the viruses, of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. And I made a review and a hypothesis about prevention possibilities. And as first, I checked the study, which is about American people. 73 million people had altogether 10.3% of substance use disorders. It's like drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. But if they analyze the COVID patients, they see that 15.6% of all people has this, which means altogether that the substance use disorders are risk factors. And if we would like to eliminate the risk factors, and also you see that the outcome of the patients which had this SUD before is worse than the people who didn't had it. It's a scientific study from Wang and et al. And if you look just the numbers, with SUD, there was 41% which was going to hospital, and without SUD, it was 30.1%. So it is more than 10% difference. And if you look the death rate, you see clearly the picture is 50% more dying who had previously this SUD disorder. And of course, I can speak about our friend, the clinic in Chelyabinsk. They have a complex therapy how to deal with such substance disorder problems with apiterapii, and this helps for the people to prevent, because if you are healed, then you have less risk for getting COVID. Another factor what we can see is the diabetic problem, who has not controlled glucose levels, are developing a severe form of the COVID. It means that the disease can be a mild form or in a severe form, more complicated. And of course, there is the possibility to see all the signs of this severe COVID-19, and one part is the lymphopenia, and the causes are known, like acute inflammation and infections. And if you see the ratio between amount of infection and the severity of the inflammation, then you will see that it's very important to have the masks, to have the distance, to have the hygiene. So we have to learn to live with this in a bright sense for everybody. And if you look what is proven already in apitherapy, then you will see that propolis has a very good anti-inflammatory effect. So we can use this. And we know a lot of possibilities of royal jelly. Royal jelly has a very good regulation of the immune cells, CD4, CD25, and so on. And this helps us to regulate the immune system, which is very important in different other diseases like psoriasis before. Of course, the regulation of the immune system is very, very important. And of course, the lymphatic congestion is very, very important. Muscular movement, which means that it is not enough a passive movement. We need a muscular movement, and this will come back in the last slide of my presentation today. Very important is to know how is SARS-CoV-2 infecting the cell, how it enters the cell. And we know some basic knowledge that it includes the ECA2 receptor. This is the primary way of infecting the human cell from SARS-CoV-2. But there are some other proteins which are included in this process. Serine protease, hepatin sulfate, proteoglycans, and a new result from some Hungarian researcher, which was published by the Nature in September 2020. Yeah, this says some very old receptors, the syndecam 4, syndecam 3, are also involved. These are very, very early phase receptors of the human cell. Early means old, very old. These are very, very old receptors, and these are also included. What we can do is we can help to inhibit the SARS-CoV-2 cellular entry if we do, like in the ACF interactions is the PAC1 signalization is included, and this signalization could be help, so to block this signalization could help to reduce the inflammation, the fibrosis, and by the immune system suppression. And since the propolis has the inhibitory effect on these ACA2 receptors on the way of PAC1 signaling pathways, it is a very, very good material for us, for naturopaths and medical doctors, to use as prevention. As summary, we can say about propolis that it can potentially interfere with the host cell invasion, first of all, and second of all, it can suppress the PAC1 pro-inflammatory pathway, and this helps the kinase highly expressed in COVID-19 patients. It means if you use this, the the disease is not so heavy. It has less symptoms with this way. Okay. I have to point that if we read the literature, then we will see such a patent, like in this white box on the right-hand side, which says, oh, antiviral effect has propolis by inhibiting viral nucleic acid polymerases. But you have to know, patent is not a science, it's a game of money. And we know that there are specific and non-specific polymerase enzymes. And of course, the propolis could not be proven as a non-specific one. So it is a specific one for different kind of viruses. We know some viruses it's not working properly, but some other viruses, a lot of it's working very good. So if we speak about specific effect, we have to make a test. So we have to prove it. That's why it's very important that we evaluate the source of the information to know exactly what is possible. Why? Because we have a huge knowledge. Just over the internet, you can read thousands of pages. But some of the details cannot be explained. So we have to focus on some essential points, because not every kind of propolis is the same effect, and not every propolis preparation has the same effect, and not contains all the products, all the molecules. And also how we intake the propolis is very, very important, because we can enter inhalation, massage, raw propolis, alcoholic tincture, also the alcoholized before the consumption, which means that all the way we have different molecules from propolis which goes into the body. And venom is not a functional food. It is it has a high risk for allergic people, so we have to make allergy test, and of course we have to be ready for any kind of intervention in life-threatening situations. So what I can say that propolis is currently not medicine in the sense of pharmacy, but it is a very good functional food. But functional food, as we know from Hippocrates, let your food be your medicine, which means that what you take in is in your body, of course. And if we check the Greek sentence, which is deikimasti, which means diet, and movement, which comes back to the picture previously, that the lymphatic system needs the movement. So I say diet and movement are the two basic for prevention. And in my practice, I suggest for all my patients in the early phase treatment, before the confirmation of the COVID-19 illness, to take propolis in multiple forms: drops, inhalation, beehive air. And we take 10% equivalent propolis extract from 5 times 5 drops per day, sublingual, and inhalation. We make 1 liter boiling water into 2 4-liter size empty cold vessel. We add 60 drops of propolis and 1 tablespoon honey. We cover the head, and then we inhale this aerosol, which contains all the volatile parts of honey, of pollen, some pollen of course, and from propolis. And this goes directly into the lung. It makes a very good inhalation, and it is not very hot. We take royal jelly, 1 gram 2 times per day, sublingual, we suggest to use deep freezed royal jelly. You are lucky in Russia because you have also lyophilized royal jelly. We don't have it in Hungary. And if we use the deep freezed, we take out from the freeze. We wait 1-2 minutes, and then we get some from the side with a plastic or wooden spoon, 1 gram, and then we eat it. I give this one for children and for parents as well of possible COVID infection. We take pollen. Of course, better would be bee bread, 2 times 1 spoon during meals. So if we eat, we take it because it helps for our digestive system. You have to know that, of course, pollen in a deep freeze form contains more bacteria and fungi and molds like perga. So the best would be perga for this to eat. And of course, if you have the MD or supervision of a naturopath, then you could use bee stings as prevention. As we heard in the first presentation from Igor Vladimirovich Krivoval-Mosklin, it makes a very good effect for general health, for the general immune system. It catalyzes a lot of effects of the human body, which is able the human body, but during the optimization to live in this world, the body suppresses some of the function. But these functions could be raised again with the bee venom, and this is very, very important. And it could be done also with injections like Venextan or Apis 500. Of course, if we are living in a big city or far away, it could be done too. And of course, honey, no sugar, and we use honey in tea or coffee, breakfast, everywhere. And as a last picture, you see for my medical practice, the beehive air house, Domica. On the right-hand side, you see my son taking a very easy way the beehive air. And I would like to thank you very much for your attention. Спасибо за внимание.
Янош, thank you very much for your report. It was very interesting. Степан, я хочу задать короткий вопрос Яношу. Слышно хорошо?
Да, слышно.
Слышно. Как он считает, все-таки психоактивные вещества влияют на COVID-19 отрицательно, положительно или никакого влияния не оказывают?
János, hallod?
Igen, hallok.
Tehát azt kérdezed, hogy a pszichoaktív szerek,
Igen.
a COVID-19-re negatívan hatnak, vagy sehogy nem hatnak. Tehát milyen hatásuk van
A COVID-19-ről, mint a fóliába itt mutattam az előbb.
Igen. Как я показывал в презентации только что.
Tehát amint mutatom, a bemutatóban mutattam, azok az emberek, akiknek volt valaha ilyen effekt, ilyen eseményük, azok gyakrabban lesznek COVID-betegek, tehát sokkal fogékonyabbak a betegségre, és sokkal súlyosabb a betegség lefolyása.
Как я показывал в своей презентации, те люди, которые раньше имеют и раньше имели контакт с психоактивными веществами, они большей части заболеют от COVID. То есть на них более активно эти вирусы влияют.
Thank you very much. I understand.